Welcome to the Buy Box Bandits podcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Buy Box Bandits podcast. Today we have one of our good friends on, Maher, college kid from Maryland, did 45K in sales last month. And I've seen you legit. We've known each other for a couple of years before you even interested in Amazon and all that, which is cool. Kind of getting some, I guess, IRL in the mix there and everything. But you're an interesting guy. We got some cool behind the scenes stuff to go through as well. But you kind of want to introduce yourself to the BBB Nation, let everyone know kind of, what you're up to and such. And then we'll dive into the strategy behind it, what's worked, what hasn't, all that.
Definitely. What's up, guys? My name is Maher Ismail. I'm 19 years old from Maryland. I'm a sophomore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. you were you're really young. Wow.
Exactly. I'm one of the younger kids.
Laughing these fools, man. Laughing them. And gonna continue.
Sir. Of course. I'm a second semester. I'm entering my second semester of college at University of Maryland, and I'm just pumping on Amazon on the side.
Yeah, facts, man. I'm just pumping on Amazon. That's what's up. So you're all on arbitrage, right?
Exactly, all on arbitrage right now.
Yeah, okay. And what's kind of like been the big levers that have helped you grow? Because I remember in maybe like September of last year, you were like, oh, no, 2021. I remember I sent you a message, something like you don't actually want it or something like that. He does, in fact, actually want it, but you were like, I'm gonna prove you wrong, but something like that. But yeah, what's man? Because you really figured it out the past year.
I'd say once I got to a certain level of familiarity with all the OA sites and like certain once I got a common knowledge of all the websites, that's when I really started killing it. I knew like exactly what to start looking for, and basically figuring out manual sourcing is what did it for me.
I mean, we say this all the time, right? Obviously, we've known you for a while. You've been in the game for a while. It is a fact of the industry that anyone who's putting out content consistently over the long period of time will win, right? We haven't seen otherwise. Definitely. You've been in the game for probably upwards of a year now, more than a year.
Yeah.
You have those network, you have the relationships. It's inevitable that you will succeed because you've been at it, shooting your shot so many times.
Yeah, I feel like I've been at it so long, and like there was points like 6 months ago, 12 months ago, where like I was definitely questioning like am I doing the right things and stuff, but I just kept going, never quit, because Alex Ramosi says it a lot. If you never quit, you never lose. So yeah. I just never gave up, and then if you never give up, things will start looking good for you.
Yeah, and then just in general, right? Like, so we met in person in 2021 in August at the Miami conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
For anyone listening, go check out MiamiSellersConference.com. Not sponsored. What we are sponsored actually by SellerAmp. So go to SellerAmp.com and get a free trial while you're at it.
Sure.
On there. You had to remember it and such. But yeah. Right. So we met in August, right? And you were just getting going. Then I know you're doing like some outlets and such. But now that we've all been at it, right, multiple years, the longer you're in it, the more chances you give yourself to get lucky. And the same thing is the more you're in the community, the more chances you give yourself to make friends. And something we've all benefited from, right? We don't have to get too much in the specifics. But I know you were doing some crazy margin Nike outlet stuff back Definitely. Over the summer, right?
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and walk us through that operation though in detail, because I know it was multiple people involved. There was a lot of buying lunch for friends and such.
Yeah, definitely. So I live in the DC area, so like it's popping over here. We got like 10 different Nikes. So I was doing a lot of driving around during backpack season, during back to school, like all that stuff. And then I stumbled across one specific store, had the specific item. I was buying this item online for like $25, but it happened to have it in the store for $7, and there was just like 100 of them. So I got my limit for that day of like 5 items, and then got my dad to buy some for me, and then I came back the next day with 4 of my friends, like filled up the car. We all went there, and then.
And so wait, what? This was over the summer. Can you say what the item was, or is that?
Yeah, I mean,
backpack.
Yeah, specific backpack, and then. Oh, they were selling out like day of, and there was only like, this is like when the offer count was going down. So like there was like 4 offers on it, and I was one of them. So I was selling them for like $65-$70, buying them for $7. So it was crazy.
And you only saw that, right? And that, some people, myself included, would have been cool with whatever it was, 50% ROI online, but you just happen to be in the mix or whatever, happen to be in the outlet and such.
Exactly.
For anyone listening right now, so this is going to come out, okay, actually the 4th. So if you're watching this day of, there's a big Nike outlet sale. I think it ends today, but check it same day if possible. But one of those big, like it's like 30% off site wide or store wide or something like that is definitely a good opportunity. I mean, Garrett and I, we actually remember we linked for the first time. It was at the Nike outlet in April, and then we grabbed Chipotle. But yeah,
I don't think it was the first time.
It was the first time in person, and then the week after we were at Camp AOA. At your crib. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Outlets are great, right? Because it's geographically based, and that, not everyone has them near. So I'm not out here recommending a lot of people do it, but if you have one within 30 minutes, you can totally make, $300 a week, $500 a week, right?
Exactly.
Going twice. And there are limits and stuff. Like I think it's like 30 items a day per person, 5 of a single item, which is super annoying. But you get creative and then you figure it out. And,
exactly.
So
like I've worn different outfits and stuff like that to grab those same backpacks.
Love it.
Yeah.
You had, and so one of your employees, we'll call him, was your dad.
Mhm.
Was he fully bought in before this experience, or did this help gain that buy-in? What was his perception before the outlet run? Obviously being a part of it, and then obviously after as well.
He's kind of been bought in like since I started. Like he's always like he's a businessman himself. Like he's been doing business. Like he left his job in like 2008 to create his own business. So he's kind of always been a businessman and believed in me as soon as I started. Like before I started Amazon, when Miles put me on to flipping sneakers, he was all for it too. Like,
interesting. Damn.
Yeah, so
wow.
He's always been
so
a big supporter.
Yeah, we're like my family is the same way. We're very lucky to have that. We definitely take that for granted. And that's the problem too, is that just kind of going on a tangent here, online business wise, it's so lonely, in that most people do this on their own and don't talk to a lot of other people to do it because it might not be native for them to talk to people in Discord, talk to people on a forum, talk to people on Instagram, right? We're lucky where we're young. We've grown up with the internet. Like, you guys were probably messing with people in COD lobbies and stuff. I know Garrett was back then. I didn't really do that, but I was always in online communities and such, right? But it comes natural to those of us that are younger, at least most of us, right? But you have to be active. You have to exist in the Amazon world, because then we're all good friends, Tony, Billy, Jimmy, Andrew, all these guys, right? You get you got multiple people working on the same goal and stuff, and then of course you get the people that are like, oh, don't saturate it, whatever. Like, dude, you tell people what your job is, like people could fully take your job with that logic. I don't agree with that logic, is why I think the world is very abundant and all that. And so I know you got a pretty cool project you've been working on with family as well. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So this past summer, my dad and I began this like documentary project that we hope to get on one of the big streaming platforms in the future. But basically what we did is we followed around 5 of the guys in the Amazon community, Ben, Jake, Sally from California, like a 17-year-old, who else? Josh Coop, and then Tim, and then so a bunch of young killers that are selling on Amazon, making a lot of money. So we just flew out to all their areas, went through their lifestyle, went through what they do on a daily basis, their business, and yeah, we made like a 3-4 minute promo that we're hoping to pitch and then use funds to make into a bigger documentary.
That's what it is. Okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Exactly.
I was gonna ask what the details of it were. Okay, I didn't really understand that part, so that makes complete sense. Yeah, in terms of that. Cool, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's kind of the ideology behind it? What's the motivation? What's the message you're looking to push through and such?
We're showing that college isn't the only route. There's definitely because all these guys they're not going to college. They're taking a more they're taking the path that no one else takes, which is main focus of the documentary. Even though my dad's not really buying into that himself for me.
I was gonna say it's kind of ironic because obviously you're going to college.
Exactly. Yeah. Every time we were filming and like talking about one of the people we were filming, he was like, "Yeah, you're not doing this." even though he sees them killing it. Like
maybe after a couple more years of sales, you're already a sophomore though, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, dude, you should double up in class and stuff and leave early. That's what I did.
Definitely.
Everyone else figures it out early and doesn't even have to do that too.
Yeah.
Keep-
My dad was
How was
actually
your
really impressed by some of the guys we met, especially Jake. When he saw Jake, he was like, man, that kid's a G.
Yeah,
He
seriously.
knew
I
it.
mean, he's a good dude. Jake's one of those dudes where you just know he's going to win at anything he does, right? He's
Yeah.
just that kind of person. He gives out that sort of vibe. And I mean, Miles and I have been lucky enough that we've known him for 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, I've known Jake since like 2017. We didn't really know each other till 2020 though.
Yeah. And so obviously this is what, January 3rd, 4th. Are you satisfied with how you performed in Q4? Any wins, losses, anything you do differently? Kind of talk us through the Q4.
I'm pretty happy with how it went. I wish there was a few leads that I wish I had doubled down on more. I wish
Damn.
I wish
I mean, we're all the same.
Yeah,
way,
that
right?
should be the
Exactly.
way, that should be the constraint is supply of really good leads, not finding really good leads, getting enough supply of them.
And there's also I wish I repriced differently during like what's it called? Like Cyber Monday, Black Friday, that area.
How in that you had stuff you couldn't get more of that you ended up taking lower dollar amounts than you could have.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember I sold in like a 3-day span, I sold like 75 to 100 units of a certain item that sold for like 28, which ended up selling for like 34, 35 like 3 weeks later. So it's all good.
Well, either way though, I know you had some cash flow issues in August and such, right? We've all guys completely there like a year ago too. And that's such, you know what I mean? Like if you're good at finding stuff, like who cares? Do you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
yeah, if you redeployed that money, you probably made whatever the difference was, pretty quickly and such too.
I mean,
100%.
the hindsight, the regret, the hindsight, that's never going to change. That's going to stick with you when
Yeah.
you're doing $3, $4, $6, $10 million in sales each year. But with that being said, obviously heading into 2023, do you have any specific goals that you're trying to hit, targets, any business model shifts, any PL in the mind?
I definitely want to hit 1.5 million. That's my sales goal. And then
Okay.
yeah, definitely want to study and then probably deploy my first private label product. A lot of the guys have it on their mind, so I'm hoping to do some sort of masterminding like there.
Yeah, and that's what's nice is that now that you've gotten kind of your floor has been raised income wise, right? That you can do OA really well. Same thing like Garrett and I've been working on, right? You can now attack higher leverage opportunities, private label, other things and stuff because you have skill, you built network the same way we all try to. We preach on here and everything. Now you can go after bigger stuff. What's attractive about private label to you?
You can have equity in what you're building. Like you're building a brand at that point. So like it's not just one product. Like after you have one successful product, it's probably easier to deploy the second one. It's just high margins too. I don't know. But also that's where I feel like it becomes like a real business at that point too, because like you're not telling people you're buying items online and selling them, like you have your own product, like that type of thing.
Yeah, and the way that breaks down basically is that like a reselling business can't really be sold, no one's really going to buy, at least not, too seriously, right? But then, a private label brand where it exists outside of just you, people buy it because it's the product, not because it's like just something that, well, I guess they buy it, not really a good comparison, but it exists like it's an independent entity that can have repeat purchases, right? That people search for. You can move it off Amazon and think that's so. Yeah, that's cool. I think that'll be good. Do you have any niches in mind, Garrett? Do you have any niches in mind? Because I know you're looking at that a lot too.
No, we haven't gotten that far. I would love to do something, obviously, in like the sports outdoors industry, camping, something like that.
Fishing?
Just because that's kind of like the stuff that would. I mean, that's still insane. That's not necessarily mine.
You're not you're not into fishing.
No, Dylan is for sure. I would love to do something in that sports and outdoors category, but whether that's viable after the numbers are ran and the data is consumed, we'll see.
You got any niches in mind?
Not really. I'm like when I'm in the shower and going to sleep at night, I'm just brainstorming, and then
dude, it's crazy how stuff comes up like that. Like on a walk, driving, shooting hoops. Just when you don't have the stimulus and stuff.
For me, it's running. When I'm running, that's where my best, like most creative thinking happens. That's when my mind is just churning.
The worst is when I go on those without a walk, whatever, driving. You can't access your phone as easily. and such. And it's a pain in the ass just getting the ideas translated. Like I'll just be ripping tweets out in my head, but I'm obviously not going to bring my phone because if I had my phone, it'd be on it and then I wouldn't remember the tweets. And I think to do like a notebook or something on that. And
One of my goals for the year is like be on my phone like 50% less. So like
yeah,
no, I've been on like my phone like or like no phone like 30 minutes before you're sleeping, that type of stuff.
love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely getting
I mean,
better.
yes and no. I mean, so much money is made from your phone, though.
That's
I
the
get
problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
that's
get the,
the problem.
Exactly.
I get the 30 minutes right before you're going to sleep, that sort of thing. But throughout the day, right, a lot of people talk about like minimizing phone consumption, but phone connects us to other Amazon sellers who are connected. You know what I'm saying? Like our
Mhm.
phones generate wealth. Obviously, our phones put out content, right? And so that's the benefit of that.
Yeah,
But
it just means the negative type of use, you know? And
The
yeah,
consumption, yeah.
everyone should silence all their notifications besides important phone calls. That's one recommendation I can make. Like, and Apple actually is making it easy in that now it says your message has been delivered quietly. Like, I want to see everyone should have that. Like, you cannot be letting people steal your notifications. Like, yeah, I'm going to say it again. Delete Snapchat if you have it and you're listening to this too. And you definitely delete the notifications from if you're going to have it. Now, that's made a big difference for me productivity wise, such, and even just getting the fun away, because for the most part what you can do on your phone you can do on the computer, at least like the really important stuff, you know.
Exactly.
I would say, and everything. Okay, and then so obviously you were not doing anywhere close to what you're doing now, right, in terms of you know, or sorry, a year ago, right? What
Yeah.
changed though in that you know, is it how you're buying stuff, just overall just time in market, creating like more knowledge around stuff, and then how deep are you getting into like the couponing side of things, because I'm pretty sure it's pretty deep, right?
Yeah. So starting off with the first thing, a year ago, I was pretty much like all RA, just running outlets, Targets, Walmarts, that sort of thing. I didn't really figure out OA until like early this year. So once I did that, and once I figured out manual sourcing, because I feel like once I started OA, I was doing a lot of reverse sourcing at first, which then transitioned into manual sourcing, because I feel like reverse sourcing is only or it's good, but like for me it helped build like a sense of like of familiarity with all the OA sites.
Yeah.
Because
so when you say manual sourcing, though, are you like product by product going through these different sites?
it depends. Like I'm searching for like certain types of products
Right.
on a lot of sites, running deals, and then I also have like a bank of coupons that I rely on and I can
Yep.
always go back to. So I'm definitely couponing hard, and like right now I'm diving into like discounted gift cards a lot. So
Same. Garrett, I know Garrett's lighting up about that. We've been talking
yeah,
about that a lot lately.
yeah. So
So before we go on, for the newer Buy Box Bandit listener, talk us through how one can recycle these coupon codes. What's the logistics behind that? Right. Say there's a new member code. How can I go about using that time and time again?
so with the new member code, obviously like that website will limit you to use it one time on a new account that you make. So I've created what's called a catch-all email. So I have like abcd@maherismail.com, and then I can use the new coupon on that, and then go ahead and make a new account on the website. Like just type in a bunch of random letters at that maherismail.com, and then you can just spam that coupon as many times as you want.
Yeah, you
Right.
guys got to do whatever you can do to find coupons for your favorite web. It's in general, it's pretty easy. Like, I mean, if you if you look up like many websites, it'll just be like footlocker.com/coupons. That's an example that does work. If you Google Foot Locker coupons, there's going to be all those retail me not offers.com, whatever, things like that. If you try all those, there's a good chance one of those is going to work. And what's the nice thing is those tend to stick around for a while. And that one of these Garrett and I have been using for like 2 years. In February it'll be 2 years that we've been using it. Like probably used it 500 plus times, right? And it just sticks around. You can just use it again and again. On the note of the catch-all, for anyone listening that hasn't set up one of those, it's just basically the word catch and then add ALL. There's good YouTube tutorials on it. That's really helpful in terms of letting you generate unlimited emails for account signups, for account creations, email codes, and then avoiding cancels overall. What in the ideal situation, what does it look like a year from now? What's different business wise?
I would say I'm working 2 to 3 hours a day on on like the OA wholesale side of my business.
A
And then
disciple of Warner Field himself.
Yeah.
exactly. I definitely want to get to that sort of position. And then I would say I want to focus a lot of my time and energy on private label, just learning and creating products. And then because I feel like after a certain point, the OA and wholesale side can be like automated for the most part with
Yeah, a good amount of it. And you're just way more effective for the time you do work, you know?
exactly, yeah.
Because you like, if you just stockpile your replenishable products, right? Everyone gets caught up in, oh, I'm looking for replenishable products. No, you're looking for profitable products, which turn into replenishable products as
Alright,
the market
get that
dictates.
written down for a tweet right now, before we mess it up. I'll load it up in Tweet Hunter right now. And then
Because I have
I mean,
a
that's the
good
thing,
prep
right?
center right now.
Those replenishable products start to stockpile and stack, right? That's how this business starts to snowball.
100%.
and tax-free, I assume? Sales tax-free?
Yeah, tax-free prep center.
Yeah. You guys, it's a good idea. Anyone listening, get a prep center set up in like Montana, Delaware, Oregon, New Hampshire. I think Alaska, actually. I don't doubt there's any prep centers in Alaska. I'm pretty sure it is one of the other sales tax-free states, though, which is interesting. If you're living up there, you deserve to not, I guess. And everything.
I forgot to mention this upcoming semester I'm actually taking a gap semester. So
Gap semester. I actually don't know if I know anyone who's taken a gap semester successfully. They always end up making too much money and not going. Interesting. Okay, cool. Good for you.
I think that's what Danny did. His was
Danny
like a
did that.
gap sort
Danny
of
did that a
thing.
few times. Yeah, Danny did that a few times. The first one was this semester 3 years ago, and then I think a couple other, and then the gap ended up being the gap's still going.
Perpetual.
Yeah.
How did that come up? I doubt your dad brought that up. You had to bring it to your parents, and
I
what did that
definitely
conversation look
took
like?
some convincing. So I really feel like I've like I need to put my head down and like go to work because I'm one of those people that like school is just taking up like so much headspace of mine, and then
Of course.
yeah, if I'm doing Amazon and school, I can't put like 100 into both. So like both, I'm putting like 50% into both. So
Yeah.
I definitely like want to just go all in on Amazon for at least a short period of time, and then until I can get like more systems set up. So I feel like this gap semester would be really good for me. And then for convincing my parents, for convincing my parents, like they were not like bought in at all. Hold on, my dad said something to me. He said he thinks that after this gap semester, like I'll be done with school.
That was my next question. Do you think, and I guess you just answered it, do you think this is a trial period for your parents with Amazon perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they're not going to watch this later, but who knows what could happen? Like
well, that's what's nice though, is that like school 9 to 5 is always going to be there, you know, like as a competent human being. And the more you do this kind of stuff, anyone listening, like the most underrated part of this is the skills you learn and the people you meet by a mile. It's not even close, right? Just because most people will never have the self-discipline or have the self-motivation to do stuff without seeing results, or do stuff even with seeing results with this kind of stuff and everything. And we all have just an opportunity that's never existed before, even just like as of the past 10 years and so, it just started to exist. If you're listening to this, you clearly care, so you gotta do what you can to make the life you want, because it's all possible.
Even the past 3, 4, 5 years, the landscape has changed like crazy.
How?
Like, I mean,
just for anyone who doesn't know.
And so this has been well documented, but first and foremost, I think a lot of the money has been opened up with ungates. Ungates have been just dramatically changed for whatever reason. Like, we can't diagnose it, right? But it seems as though nowadays you can just submit a random receipt, right, of 10 products within a brand, and you get ungated in that brand. The potential there is limitless, right? You can go into any sort of industry, niche, brand that you want and just exploit that brand for all of its profits. Secondly, I think more people are just becoming aware of the benefit, and Miles is going to light up about this, of just being connected, right? There's so much value that is now being uncovered with being connected, and the synergy within groups of like-minded people all working towards the same sort of goal, all selflessly working towards the same sort of goal, that synergy boosts growth. And I think a combination of those two things, the opportunity that the ungates provide and just Amazon as a landscape provides, as well as the networking aspect, that has changed the game forever.
Yeah, and it's also way easier to start with just content being more available and such, and then too, just e-com growing in general, people buying more stuff online, consumer demand driving the industry and such on that. But yeah, I don't know. Gotten some good stuff there. I had a really good point I was gonna make, and I can't remember what it is now.
I saw your face
I know,
while I was talking.
I can't remember what it was gonna be right there. But yeah, like seriously, like all the opportunities there. Like it's the other stuff is always gonna be there, and like there's a ton of people doing both successfully and everything. Like it's all out there. You just gotta like be willing to do it. Basically, like there's no secrets. Like if you dig the way we tell you guys to do, like you're gonna find success over the long term. And sure, it's a lot easier when you know people. And the nice part is that costs $0 to be active online, to exist online. And there's also people are like so afraid of showing their face and stuff, like they'll take accountability of going to a sports game or drinking, but they won't take accountability of doing this stuff and show their face on their like Amazon page. It makes no sense. But yeah, that's why you shouldn't have personal social media to begin with.
I feel like with Amazon, you can also go like 0 to 100, like with Billy, like started with like $1,000 a year ago, and now he's making 20 grand a month or this month.
Yeah, well over 100K profit for him. Yeah, like from the ground up, he did it the right way. Like from day one, like he was just always in my DMs about stuff, and then I FaceTimed him randomly one time after it, and we've just been boys ever since, basically, like for like a year and such. We got to pay some homage to Ferris as well if he's listening.
Exactly.
Play. Yeah.
I'll send him this.
Brother is like one of the funniest guys I ever know. I've never met him in person either. Like we just bantered like online for like the past 5 years, basically, and everything.
I'll never forget when you shaved your head with us during quarantine.
Oh my god, dude, I did.
That was crazy.
What? Yeah, dude, I haven't thought about it forever. Yeah, we gotta get Ferris on the reselling wave, man.
Definitely, yeah.
And everything. Yeah.
His girlfriend is actually planning on starting soon.
Sweet, cool. Yeah, and that's what's nice is like she'll get put on just like crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's what I like. So my one of my cousins texted me today, like and they know about the bit. They're known for it, actually relatively interested in it. And they're like, oh, one of my friends is gonna get into it. Can they message you? I'm like, okay, once they do the Nike on gate and once they create their seller account, yes. So we'll give the easiest barrier to entry that still almost no one would do. Basically right there. I remember what I was going to bring up. So get the gum out for this. This is an important point. Right? Say eSpace shutting down ungate wise, right? One, just off the, like, you can use anywhere. Like, trust me, like, sure, they might decline you once or twice. I promise you it'll work eventually. But so many people are like, what do I do now that eSpace shut down? One, why didn't you do it when I was yelling about it the past 6 months anyway? And two, I've told you other times, you can just use anywhere. So like anyone out there ungating, like it's honestly not even worth doing ungates right off the bat anymore. Just once you find something profitable, buy 10 of it for that brand. And that's what's nice too. Similar to the coupons, right? Once you find one coupon, you can use it for a while. It's the same thing with an ungate. You can use it forever and that they're not going to like regate you, whatever, most likely. On that. So like it's nice and easy and just get your ungates done and keep it rolling. When you find something good in Adidas, just buy 10 of it and use that. Like no need to worry about obsessing over that stuff. It's just nice and simple in terms of getting going. And
essentially is like synonymous with your test buys now, right? I mean,
basically,
you're going to order 10, 15, 20 anyways for a test buy. Just use that for the ungate.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So we're all pretty similar motto wise, just prep center, like heavily based like group sourcing and stuff. Like how much of that are you doing, like trading deals with people and such?
I was doing a lot like a month ago or so, but
yeah.
Right, like I've been sticking to like one or two sites that I've just been buying and merchant fulfilling stuff.
Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, how much FBM did you do? Like of that 45 in December, how much of it was FBM?
Probably around like 40%. somewhere
Nice.
around there.
It's good split. Yeah, and the constraint, was it needing more leads or needing more capital? Like, why was it, obviously it'll grow, but why was it not higher, basically? Like, what was
I would say more. I would say in the beginning of the month it was more capital, but towards the end, like around like the 20th and after that, it was probably leads for me.
because you're like, it's so coddled in like Black Friday, December, like you get numb, and that like a 30% ROI doesn't look as good anymore,
Exactly.
with
Exactly.
with different things. Yeah, like Garrett and I were like a couple times in the past month, we've been up pretty late, like into the wee hours of the night, just ripping stuff. And one time we stayed up for like 4 hours in a row, and then they all got canceled. Which is
sickening.
worth it. It's worth it, because I mean, if to say those didn't get canceled, it would have been like $5,000 for that like 3 hour span. But
Nah,
definitely hurt that. But we're better men for it, and everything like that. Anything else we should touch on in terms of just what we're seeing so far, like new year, things that help beginners and such that are listening and everything?
I would say just stay at it. Like even if you don't like see yourself winning, just keep talking to people, keep doing what you're doing, and
Well, that's the
try and
thing.
get better every day.
Almost everyone that's not winning is not talking to people. Like, they're just not
Yeah.
doing what
Exactly.
they say that will, like, and especially over the long term, like no one sticks around for a year and doesn't get good. That like actually,
Yeah, exactly.
And another point I was gonna bring up is that just in general, I think it's a lot easier. Like, obviously, we're all pretty young and such, but someone like you, like I've known for a while, you just like, you learn something, you just do it. Like, there's no like, oh, how am I gonna get ungated? What if it doesn't? No, like, just do it and it works. Like, because everyone else does it, and everyone else that does it, it works, and everything. And I think like just in general, like societal, like the longer you stick around, like corporate wise and stuff, like you're just so you're not saying this is you in general, right? You're so conditioned to like ask for permission and stuff, when like this, like Daddy Bezos will let you, bro, if you just supply the stock, man, people are on there buying it and stuff. Like, you just gotta take more action, test more things, right? Like, why do you need to ask me like about just in my DMs, people, like about an ungate, when I've told you could just do it, right? Or getting a coupon, right? It's very easy. You could just Google it and see if there's any, and then you further along, because you're conditioning yourself to get feedback a lot quicker by taking action rather than waiting for a couple hours or a couple days to get a response. Compounded over the long term, you'll get results so much quicker because you'll be shooting many more shots. The more shots you take, the more chances you have for them to hit, and everything, boys and girls listening. So just take more action, right? So if you're a beginner listening to this, right, you see this man, you see Garrett. If Billy can put up the numbers Billy does, anyone can, man. I'm telling you guys, like, there's all this opportunity, especially in the area. This is tons of buying opportunities right now as well. We're gonna hop on Discord after this and get to it, and such. Where can people find you on Instagram? And then would the Instagram be the best place in terms of future of the documentary, in terms of seeing when that's available and such?
Yeah, I'll definitely post some updates on my Instagram, but you can find me at on Instagram and Twitter at the Maher Ismail or I was about to say .com, but yeah, the Maher Ismail.
Do you own the domain too?
Nah, I should though.
Wait,
I gotta hop on that.
Yeah, your catch-all domain. Yeah. Well, you already got one for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you guys next Wednesday for another episode. Be great.
Adios.
Sweet.